we're back with more news. And so yeah. We're back with more news, gamers. It's been a minute. It's only been a couple weeks, but it's been a minute. Got a shortish, mini-sized amount of news today. Not a huge amount. Not a lot. A couple of big things, but not a lot. Not a lot overall. Mini-sized? What is it? So let's get to it. Let's go over one of the big ones first. Rockstar was hacked. Andy Robinson, VGC. Rockstar confirms new data breach after hacker group threatens pay or we leak. Oh, man. On Saturday, this is a couple Saturdays ago, the group Shiny Hunters, which has previously targeted Microsoft, Cisco, AT&T, and Ticketmaster, claimed that it had breached Rockstar via third-party analytics platform Anodot, which is used by companies to track cloud costs. Pay or leak, it wrote via the Cybersec Guru. This is a final warning to reach out by April 14th before we leak, along with several annoying digital problems that will come your way. Make the right decision. Don't be the next headline. There was an update. We'll get to it. Rockstar confirmed the breach and claimed it would have no impact on our organization or players. We can confirm that a limited amount of non-material company information was accessed in connection with a third-party data breach. This incident has no impact on our organization or our players. And there's a couple updates here, because as time went on, more things happened. Andy Robinson, VGC. They confirmed they will release the stolen games data. Law enforcement advice globally is not to pay cybercriminal ransoms, as it encourages theft and comes with no guarantee that hackers would delete stolen data. Shiny Hunters hasn't said what the data is that they obtained or what it's related to, but due to its alleged method of access, it's speculated that the potential exposure likely includes financial records, marketing plans, contract information, and player spending data, rather than game assets. So, and then they confirmed it. And then a third update where they actually released the leak. They did the leak. Jordan Midler, VGC. They actually made Take-Two stock increase after leaking, though. So it helped them. It actually helped Rockstar somehow. Because what they leaked was how much money GTA Online has been making, basically. They released the information online, reportedly focusing largely on how much money GTA Online is currently making across the 5 platforms it is available on. You get chart cards, yada, yada, yada. Take-Two's stock shot up when trading opened on Tuesday morning, opening around $202 a share. Then it rose to almost $208 a share. This is a surge added around $1 billion to the mega publisher's marketing cap. So Rockstar is making more than $1 million a day. Still, over $500 million annually. GTA Online is still making $1 million a day. Chat, this is crazy. And they laid people off? What? And they had layoffs? What? $1 million a day? Huh? So that's what they leaked. And because it's such good news, apparently, their stock went up. Womp womp all around. Next up, we've got a little interview with Pete Hines, formerly Bethesda, on kind of why he left. This is Andy Robinson, VGC. Obviously, we're doing big news and then smaller news and then chat picks. No dev dub this week. There wasn't really a lot going on. Pete Hines says he quit Bethesda post Xbox because it's part of something not genuine. Speaking in a frank interview with Fireside Chat, the former Bethesda veteran claimed that it was always his intention to leave the company after Starfield shipped, and suggested that he was unhappy with the direction of the company post Microsoft acquisition. He says it was really hard to walk away from my team and not get to see them on a regular basis. At the same time, I also hit a point of realizing I could not spend the rest of my life doing something that wasn't for me. It was for everyone else, which is what I was doing. I was staying there because this place still needs me. I just hit a point of, yes, it needs me, and I am powerless to do what I think needs to be done to run the place properly, to protect these people, to maintain what we've worked so hard to create, which is incredibly efficient, well-run video game developer and publisher. And when I couldn't protect it and saw how it was getting damaged and broken apart and frankly mistreated, abused, whatever word you want to use, I said, I'm not going to sit here and watch this happen right in front of me. I think I've done everything I can do. This is not when I wanted to end it or how I wanted it to end. but that's not really up to me. And at a certain point, truthfully, my mental health was as deplorable as was so deplorable that I just said I cannot. But because Starfield kept getting delayed, he had to stay months and months after his original plan of leaving. And they were talking about all having to testify in court about the Bethesda stuff with the acquisition. That was the worst part. Yeah, that was the worst fucking part. It was to join a place that I genuinely was a fan of and people there I genuinely held in high regard and esteem, and to get there and see how it actually worked. To talk is something, right? But I'm very much about what is the follow-up to that. Do you mean what you say? Or are you just saying shit that sounds good and then as soon as you leave this room, that's completely forgotten? Because that is not how we ever operated as Bethesda. And that's not to say everything we said we did. Yeah, we probably didn't fucking come close to that. But that was absolutely our intention. We are going to do what we say and what we do and be genuine and be authentic. And truthfully, I still think Bethesda is just part of something that is not authentic and is not genuine. And that shouldn't be a surprise to you. So, Pete Hines, again, formerly of Bethesda, says, Microsoft gaming division ain't great. And, you know, all the recent moves going on there with the new leadership. And speaking of the new leadership, there was some sort of leaked memo from Asha Sharma admitting that Game Pass is too expensive and that the previous model was not working. Andy Robinson, VGC. Xbox's new boss tells staff Game Pass has become too expensive for players. Yes. Thankfully, some awareness. In an internal memo sent to gaming employees, first published by The Verge, Sharma said that the service needs a better value equation 6 months after Microsoft hiked the price of its top Game Pass tier by 50%. Oh, yeah, it sucks. Game Pass is central to gaming value on Xbox. It's also clear that the current model isn't the final one. Short term, Game Pass has become too expensive for players, so we need a better value equation. Long term, we will evolve Game Pass into a more flexible system, which will take time to test and learn around. Currently, the top tier is $30, middle tier is $15, the basic tier is $10. And then PC separately is like $17. Random. Just make it 15. Who cares? According to reports, part of the reason why Game Pass prices increased last year was the inclusion of the new Call of Duty games in the service, which would have likely cost Microsoft significant sales revenue. Interesting decision. Hopefully, we don't have to all cancel our Game Pass Ultimate subscriptions because $30 is way too much. $30 is way too much per month. That's wild. That's like half a phone bill. And then we have another update from Subnautica. Kind of a mini update. This is Fran Ruiz, Eurogamer. Subnautica 2 Steam change suggests Crackdown might be out as its publisher following long legal battle and reinstatement of studio leader. So most of this just goes over what's been going on. But apparently on the Steam page right now, I haven't double checked this. I forgot to double check. It doesn't list Crackdown as the publisher. It lists Unknown Worlds as the publisher, meaning that they would be self-published. Where does it say? The legal battles overview. At the time of writing, Crackdown is no longer listed as the publisher of Subnautica 2. Instead, as per the listing, it looks like Unknown Worlds Entertainment will be self-publishing the title, and Crackdown did make a statement saying, it's currently focused on successfully supporting the early access launch of Subnautica 2. We have nothing further to share at this time. Oof. Just a small update on that as we watch all that crash and burn. Next up, 7 Days Blood Moon dead? We don't know. Because this is the only hint of it being dead after only a few months. Because I couldn't find any news stories, but this is breaking news from user Dark Carp, who pointed this out to me. So this is on the Steam page on the news section of 7 Days Blood Moons. Survivors, we have an important update regarding the future of 7 Days Blood Moons. After careful consideration, we have decided to keep the game in early access without further major updates, as it has not reached the audience size needed to support continued development. 7 Days Blood Moons is now in its final form, and servers will stay online so you can continue enjoying it as usual. We would like to sincerely thank you, Illogica, for all their hard work, and thank you, our players, for your support, feedback, and for being part of our journey. So after only a few months, This was posted in the middle of last month, so this has gone under the radar kind of in terms of like overall new stuff. It looks like this is only going to be an early access game. It's still up there that you can buy for like $8 or $9. As you know, this was the 7 days offshoot of, it was like kind of like a how do I put it? It was like cell shaded, kind of like not really Left 4 Dead, because like, what was that Ash versus the Evil Dead game? It was kind of like that, where someone controls the zombies and everyone else is like fighting to survive the onslaught of someone controlling the zombies. So yeah, it was kind of like that. Didn't take off, which I mean, kind of makes sense. But on the more important side, I have a shirt with this game on it that now is useless, but is a part of history, I guess. So that's it for the more bigger news. And speaking of zombies, we're gonna go over to the smaller news now. Was State of Decay 3 announcement a scam? Maybe. This is Chris calling VGC. The game was in a Word document. State of Decay 3's 2020 announcement trailer was just a concept. So this announcement trailer is 6 years old. Let me see if I can pull it up real fast. This was the announcement trailer. So no gameplay, obviously, just some sort of like little teaser. We've got a person here out in the wilderness trying to survive, screaming at wolves, so on and so forth. They got a big knife. They're out there hunting. And what do they see? As they're out there hunting? Blood. And when they follow the blood, they see that same wolf is dead. What's it being eaten by? A zombie deer? Huh? Wild stuff. State of Decay 3. So that was the announcement trailer. Think of it what you will. But 6 years later, we have no game, but we have some explanation for the trailer. So according to Undead Labs studio head Philip Holt, who revealed on the Sunny Games podcast that the reveal trailer shown during an Xbox showcase in 2020 was purely designed to announce that the game was coming, because at the time there was no game to speak of. Interesting. When asked if the zombie deer that featured in the trailer would be appearing in State of Decay 3, Holt said that they wouldn't be in the game because the trailer was just experimenting with ideas for a game that hadn't actually started development yet. No zombie deer. The trailer in 2020, there wasn't really a game or a game team. When we were working on that trailer, it was so early, you know, and I think there wasn't even a team. I mean, there was like 4 or 5 people. The game was in a Word document, and there was really like the very beginning of software. Trailer was done by Blur, pre-rendered, obviously. It represented I think a concept. Our thoughts at the time of what might be cool to explore in State of Decay 3. And as we've had a chance to build the team and get going on the game, some of those elements are going to persist in the game that we deliver, and some of those things we're just like, yeah, we're not doing zombie animals. So it was a scam. They showed a trailer of basically just saying, hey, we're working on State of Decay 3. Nothing in that trailer was real. Nothing in that trailer was any sort of relation to what the game's going to be at all. So, chat, we got scammed. We got scammed by Philip Holt. And that's really obnoxious. So now moving forward, now that the world knows this, and the not so well kept secret is out, from now on, when you see a game trailer on any of these showcases or events, know in the back of your mind, hey, this might just be in a Word document. This might not mean anything. They might as well just come out and be like, hey, we're working on the game, instead of showing false advertisements, you know? Wild stuff. Next up, Overwatch Anran update. They did, in fact, fix the Anran face, old and new, because everyone was like, because there was the reveal version, and then then it came out in the game, and the Anran looked like this. And then everyone was like, what are you doing? She doesn't look hardcore enough, which is true. They definitely softened her all of her features. And And they went back. Much better design. And they were like, oh, you guys were right. And now Anran actually looks like her brother. Was it Wu Yang? Yeah. You're like, oh, look, we changed it, and now she actually resembles her brother. I didn't know they were siblings. But it makes sense. Water boy and fire girl. What a coincidence. So, hey, cool. They did it. I hope people are happy with it. Next up, Pokemon in No Man's Sky? Question mark. This is Chris Gullion VGC. No Man's Sky gets a new update adding Xeno Arena, a Pokemon-style turn-based battle mode. So this is what it is. There's like Pokemon type things in the game now. Let's play the little trailer. I'll make it big. No audio though, it's fine. So it's kind of like the Star Wars 3D chess board, but now you're fighting with hologram Pokemon. And you can scan, I guess you scan them into the system and you turn them into fighting mons. So yeah, Pokemon in No Man's Sky. This game is wild. How far it's come. Next up, Fable has been delayed for GTA. Surprise. Andy Robinson VGC. Paste. Fable's release has reportedly been pushed back over GTA concerns. We don't even know if GTA is coming out, so this is weird. According to Giant Bomb journalist Jeff Grubb, who claimed that, like many developers planning to ship games this year, Microsoft is concerned about releasing Fable too close to GTA 6, which is planned to arrive in November. The Playground Games title was fully revealed 2 months ago and given an autumn 2026 release window, which was potentially kept deliberately broad in order to respond to any GTA slip. I'll say that I've heard that Fable has been pushed internally, but that doesn't mean that it's coming out next year. Apparently, they're still trying to get it out this year, but they're worried about the launch of GTA 6. And so if it gets delayed beyond the release of GTA 6, that could push it into December, which might make it a prime candidate to get delayed into 2027. So that's unfortunate. I wish this game came out way sooner because I really want to play this game. It looks like a lot of fun. But again, this is also assuming, we're all assuming that GTA is actually coming out this year. It still might not. It still might not come out this year. Next up, we got an announcement for a Bloodborne animated movie, rated R. Bloodborne is officially returning as an R-rated movie, animated movie, being produced by Jacksepticeye. Interesting. Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions are developing the feature film, which will be produced by content creator Jacksepticeye, along with lyrical animation. No plot or details or director, but just the announcement. A lot of people online seem to not know the difference between a producer and a director, but I assume that if they gave the blessing was given, that it should be fine. So hopefully they don't, I mean, thankfully, I think thankfully being animated is in its favor. That way people don't take it too seriously, because if it was live action and they did anything wrong, anything at all, everyone would be fired forever. Last in the small news, apparently they took PvP out of the Dune game, Dune Awakening. This is Connor McCarr, your gamer. Dune Awakening is ditching PvP as a mandatory endgame experience, as over 80% of lifetime players didn't engage with it at all. What a surprise. What a surprise. Dune Awakening is shifting away from its PvP endgame following on from major changes made in its recent Chapter 3 update. In addition, private server hosting is coming, which should provide additional longevity and community hubs for the game in the hands of dedicated players. Sounds like great news. I would love to get into this game at all. I still haven't played it, and I really want to. In a blog post released by the developers at Funcom, it was announced that all PvP zones will be removed from the Haga Basin map, plus an alternative instance of the game Deep Desert map with PvP totally disabled. For those still eager for PvP, a usual dangerous Deep Desert will still exist with a 2.5 times multiplier to resource gathering. Cool. I doubt anyone's still gonna play it, but less on these types of games, give me less PvP for sure. By separating these experiences, we allow players to hunt for spice or explore Imperial testing stations without the constant threat of a blade in the dark, while ensuring those who live for the thrill of the hunt to have a dedicated arena to prove their mettle and the rewards to make it worthwhile. It's also revealed a whopping 80% of lifetime players didn't engage with PvP at all. Good. So that's cool. That's definitely a plus for me to get into the game. So that's it for big and small news. Go over to chat picks. Only a couple of them. First up, another Pokemon clone, Pokemon Power clone game. Coming out. This is Lincoln Carpenter, PC gamer. Power World imitator Pikmon changes a single title letter to better align with our brand identity, and definitely not for any other reason. That it's basically another one of these types of games. Look at this art. Look at this art. This is Charizard, Lucario, Palmy, Arceus. This guy can get away with it. This is fucking Chikorita. I forgot what the fucking Chikorita thing is. That's Pokemon. But they changed it from Pikmon to Pikmos. They changed it to Pikmos. We'll see what Nintendo has to say about this, because this is wild. Even Pal World would have something to say about this. So I wonder how long that's gonna last. Next up, CD Projekt Red veteran says, we need more gaming unions. And he's probably right. Jordan Gerblick, Games Radar. CD Projekt Red veteran tells game devs to unionize after Epic adds 1,000 people to the layoff pile. Collectively, we can influence things. So we talked about it last time about the big Epic layoff, even though they just print money with Fortnite, which they somehow ruined with all the licensing and everything that they've been doing. Simply a moment of gratitude for stability in a very unstable environment. It's quite strange reflecting on it, because instead of celebrating achievements or releases, my thoughts turn to the situation in the industry. Here I am, 8 years and counting, and over at Epic, 1,000 people just lost their jobs. And he goes on. My main feelings are relief that I have a job that I enjoy, and that my company is stable, at least for now. I love my team. I love everything I've built here. I've seen some hard times and some remarkable changes and improvements that make CD Projekt Red a great place to be right now. I just wish others in the industry could have the same. If I can have one piece of advice for all you out there, unionize. Collectively, we can influence things. Individually, we are at the mercy of the market. And this was CD Projekt Red localization QA analyst Paula Makowitz Armstrong. 8 years with the company. So yes, unionize. Yes, do that, please. And last bit of news, we got a little bit of some more details about The Last of Us Online fallout and behind the scenes stuff. This is Wesley Yimpel, IGN. So, director of The Last of Us Online found out it was canceled 24 hours before the public, and it was 80% complete. So this dude was it's a fairly long story, but this dude talks a lot about how much work they put into it, a lot of ideas, that he was really behind the project. He really thought it was going to do huge numbers, but because of the quote-unquote the state of the industry, apparently Naughty Dog had to make a choice between canceling The Last of Us Online or what was the new game, Heretic Project, or sorry, Intergalactic Heretic Prophet. So basically what happened was they had a choice between the two, and they decided to go, how did he put it? It was very, very close to being done. It was 80% complete, really well internally. Naughty Dog had to make a choice between The Last of Us Online and single-player adventure Intergalactic The Heretic Prophet. The decision, as we know, was to go with Intergalactic The Heretic Prophet. And so one of the casualties of that was this game I was directing. Basically, at one point, a decision had to be made. Okay, make this game or make the next game that Neil Druckmann was directing the president of the company. And so kind of naturally, you can understand what happened there. They had to pick the game that was kind of the sole bread and butter of the studio, rather than this experimental game that I was working on that I believed was going to be really big, but unfortunately couldn't see the light of day. Devastating, soul-crushing. He was very upset about it, which is understandable. Working on it for like, how many years? Like 7 or 8 years, he said, which is a long time to produce nothing, basically. So that's very, very sad. Hopefully this game is worth it when it comes out. But who knows when the shit's gonna... This was announced in 2020. 2 years ago this was announced? Dang. Feels like it was not that long, but it was. But with that, gamers, we are done with gaming news for this week. We've gone through it. Again, not too much going on. Next week, we should be good for gaming news next week. I believe. Maybe. We'll figure that out. But make sure to check out the links in the chat. YouTube, Twitter, Discord, TikTok, all the things that will soon be updated more. I keep saying that, but at one point it's going to be true. Shouts out to everyone that hung out. Shouts out to everyone that hits the buttons under the VOD on YouTube. You guys are great. And that's going to be it from me for this week. I'm going to play some E33.